So today, in addition to talking about movement, we're also talking about how to make a good visual aid. So you can see my screen, and you're just going to start with a blank presentation. So a couple things to do and not do when you're making a good visual aid. So the first thing is you want to decrease the busyness going on. You don't need a ton of pictures, you don't need a ton of words, because the more stuff that's on your visual aid means the more your audience is going to pay attention to that instead of to you as a speaker. So you want your visual aid to just complement your speech, make it better, and that's the purpose of a good visual aid. If your visual aid doesn't necessarily make your speech better and it just kind of like exists, then there's not really a point of having one. So you want to make sure that it makes your speech better and it complements what you are saying. So for this first speech, you're just going to have one slide of content per main point. So you're only going to have 3 slides with actual stuff on them, but you're actually going to have 7 slides total. So I'm going to make 7 slides. Just add the slide button. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and we're going to use what are called blank slides. So blank slides show up black on the screen, so it looks like the screen isn't turned on when you're not talking about your specific image. That way, the audience's full attention is on you, and then as soon as you have a visual you want them to pay attention to, it shows up, they look at it, and as soon as you're done talking about it, it goes away. So we're actually going to do a simple dark theme and apply it to all of them so that they all have just a black background. And then when you hit present, those black slides just show up literally blank on the screen. That way you can stand in front of them and you're not blocking anything. So every other slide is going to be black. You're going to start with a black and then have a slide of stuff, black slide of stuff, black slide of stuff. You don't really need a visual aid for your intro. In your intro, you're standing in front of the screen and you're really trying to grab their attention with your words. And so you don't have a visual aid for your intro. So you are going to start with your second slide, and that's going to be your first main point. One thing that a lot of people do when making visual aids is they do a title slide. However, in your intro, you're going to tell them the title. By putting a title slide up, it kind of implies that they can't listen to you and figure out what the title is. It also gives them a reason not to listen to you because they can just read what the title is instead of really pay attention to your introduction. So we're going to start on your first main point. You want to have visuals that stand out but make your speech better. You do not need a ton of words because to read something, it takes me listening less to something else. Most people can't read and listen to a speaker and retain both bits of information. So we don't want our audience to really have to read anything. We want something to be on the screen that we could possibly reference, that we could talk about, explain a little bit more. And so things like charts and graphs are really nice, can get rid of all the words on them. But I like to say like no more than 10 words on a slide because you really want to guide the audience's attention and you want to decide what they focus on, not give them that option. So you don't need a title on each slide because you're pretty clear on what your points are. So we're just going to get rid of all of those boxes. So let's imagine as if we're giving a speech on puppy mills and how just how bad they are. So we'll talk about, I'm just going to type in puppy mills. Let's see what comes up. I want some images. Let's say my first point is just about like what puppy mills are and why they exist in society right now. So I want to have a couple pictures of puppies in puppy mills. So I want real photos and I want ones that I can reference, I can talk about specifically, not just like let them live on the screen. So I like this one because then I could specifically talk about why the dog's eyes are like that and how that was caused by things at the puppy mill. So I copied the picture. I'm going to paste it. It's a little grainy, so if possible, I'd want to go find a different picture, but just for the sake of what we're doing, I would just keep this on here. So then when I present, nothing shows up. And then this picture, while I talk about it, when I'm done talking about it, it goes away. All right, this will be continued on the next video.